Welcome to Commanders Daily, everybody. It's your daily look at what's going on with the local 53, your one-stop shop for it. I'm Bob Matthews. Don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss a day of coverage. We got to start out with the breaking news, and that is that Terry McLaurin has requested a trade. Now, Terry McLaurin can request just about anything he wants. The problem is the club has said in the past it is not going to trade him, and I seriously doubt they're going to change their mind on that now. So why would they not change their mind on that? Well, because the fact of the matter remains that if the front office wants to play hardball here, the front office can ultimately win in a hardball contract situation. Terry has to report this year because at some point, because he's under contract. He has a contract for this year. There is nothing that says that anybody has to renegotiate it. Now, obviously, you want to because Terry McLaurin is a nice guy. He is a good human being, and he has done a lot for this franchise when this franchise wasn't doing a whole lot for him early on. So, yes, he is absolutely due a raise. But the club is in a pretty good negotiating position because of the fact that, again, he's got a perfectly good deal this year. And next year, if they want to, front office can franchise tag him. Again, what makes this so complicated is the fact that McLaurin is going to be 30 this year. He wants probably 3 years guaranteed at more than the club wants to give him for 3 years guaranteed. So, again, if he doesn't report, and if he doesn't report this year, as we have said in the past, what's going to happen? Well, his contract doesn't accrue. He's in the exact same place he was at this time, this time next year. So at some point, he's got to report, and it's going to be sooner rather than later, at least we believe it is. Is it possible he sits out until week 11 or 12 when he would have to report in order to get the 6 games and get his year of accrual? Before, I thought there's absolutely no way in hell that would happen. I still think that, but now you have to at least have a tiny sliver of doubt, in saying maybe Terry is willing to go to the mattresses on this one. We'll have to wait and see. Where do we think, or where does everybody think that this winds up? Well, one of the guys, the serious guys that we take very seriously, is a guy named Tony Pauline. He writes, he has been covering the NFL for a long time, does a lot of draft stuff, has a lot of contacts within the league as well as within the Commanders organization. And he was on with J.P. Finley, our good friend, earlier on Thursday. And this is what he said. He said that people inside the building in Ashburn think that a deal is going to get done sooner rather than later. Now, all of this was said before we got the trade request late Thursday night. And the number is going to come in somewhere either right at or just a skosh north of $30 million a year. Here's really what I want to know on this. And here's what we don't know. We don't know what the Commanders are offering, and we don't know what Terry's demanding. Now, if the Commanders, Terry is set to make $25 million this year. If they're only offering, say, $26 or $27 million, well, that's too low. Now, if Terry is asking for, say, $37 or $38 million, they say the reports are significantly more than DK Metcalf. Well, that's too high. Somewhere at 30 or just above $30 million a year really is the sweet spot here, and I'm not quite sure why we can't get to it. Is it the guaranteed money? Is it the AAV? We just don't know. But this continues to drag on, and it looks like it's going to drag on into next week as well. But again, up until, we got this trade request from McLaurin, which again, we seriously doubt the Commanders are going to honor. There was the feeling that this still will get done sooner rather than later as the contract situation turns. Well, let's talk about some stuff on the field, shall we? Because they are finally in full pads, are the guys. And we've had some guys that have been standing out here. Listening to Brian Mitchell talk about what he saw on the field, and as you guys know, I defer to B. Mitch pretty much 100% because, hey, he should be in the Hall of Fame, and he's got a Super Bowl ring. Some of the guys standing out, tight end Zach Ertz looked really good while working with Jaden Daniels. A couple of rookies stood out as well. Wide receiver Jaden Lane from Virginia Tech was really, really impressive. Caught a deep ball from Sam Hartman that made him look really, really good doing it. Ja'Cory Croxy Merritt, who apparently has gotten the nickname of Bill and or Little Bill, rookie running back, also looked very good today. Planted his foot, made a one-cut move, and turned on the Jets. Everybody really, really thought that he looked good today. Deebo Samuel caught another great pass from Jaden Daniels on Thursday. Sam Hartman apparently had one of the best practices he's had since becoming a member of this team last year. So, and he is locked in a pretty good battle right now for the third quarterback spot with the 39-year-old journeyman and, former Redskin Josh Johnson. We'll have to see how that goes. And the D-line, I've been hearing raves about the D-line, much, much bigger this year and stronger than it was last year. And that's a good thing because you might remember the defensive line got gashed in the running game last year. Think back to the NFC Championship game. I think it was Saquon Barkley's first carry, that he took to the house for a touchdown or close to it. So beefing up the interior defensive line was definitely something that Adam Peters and the front office worked on in the offseason. And guys like Javon Kinlaw apparently are paying dividends, at least in practice. Again, first padded practice. We have got a long way to go here. We'll just see what happens over the next 3 or 4 weeks. But those are the folks standing out at least first day of padded practice. And then off the field, we had the public hearings for the stadium wrap up today. Mayor Bowser getting grilled, Commanders officials getting grilled by the city council. And, on Friday, and if you're watching this in a timely fashion, that would be today, we have got the first of 2 votes that'll come up before the D.C. City Council to get the stadium deal approved. First vote, which will be on Friday, is going to need 8 votes to pass because it involves tax money. Second vote is going to need 9 votes to pass, again, because of tax money. And I will explain all of that once we get to that point in the process. But monitor your Twitter feeds or your X feeds for news on the stadium deal. Should be hearing something probably around noon, 1 o'clock, somewhere like that. All right, that's going to do it for us. We got to get on out of here. Hey, don't forget, hit the like and subscribe button. Drop a comment if you want. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. And remember, like the wise man once said, if you're out on your bike tonight, as always, do wear white.